Alright, I've been doing work in the chicken coop, but mama hen needed to lay an egg, so yesterday, or actually this morning, I tested this. The AC works fine, but the furnace heat does not. So, I have started taking things apart. I checked all the fuses in here and circuit breakers. Everything's good in here, so I guess that's a good thing. But I took off the front of the furnace, and looking underneath, I think I found the problem. Mice have chewed through these wires, so I've got to redo these wires. And hopefully that fixes the furnace. The two other things I want working are up here. I already took this panel apart. There's two switches here. One is for the hot water heater and one is for the water pump. Neither of these work as well. There's some wires under the camper that I've already taken a look at. So, and I fixed them, but that didn't fix the problem. So, been trying to take this couch out. I guess it's a folding couch, which I've never done before. But underneath, there was just a bunch of mice nests and stuff that I've taken out the big stuff. I'm going to vacuum this. I can't quite squeeze it up enough to fit out the door. But I think I need to get under here, or maybe I can get there from underneath the camper. I guess we can walk out and check. So, this is underneath the camper where I know mice have been and made nests. The wiring that I was just talking about that I already did was in this nest next to the water tank. There was a water hose that went into this that they completely chewed through. I have a replacement that I need to put in there. But even before I can do that, I need to fix all this wiring. Several weeks back, I already did all this wiring. There were some bad sections that I cut out and put in. A lot of these loose wires go to the tank sensors, which I don't know if I'll ever worry about hooking those up or not. But I still have not got the water heater over here working. Haven't got the water pump or the heater inside the camper. I did clean out a bunch of wasp nests, mud dauber nests, from both of these exhaust ports. But as I just showed you, there's wiring work that needs to be done. So another thing on my project list, I got 2 charcoal filters in here, trying to get the water a little clear inside the camper. But that's not working as well as expected. So I have a new filter I gotta hook up. This, I guess I already installed the filter, but that is a 50 parts per million filter. This one here, which is the lowest before it goes through the charcoal activated filters. This one's 50. This one is 5. I should be able to drink water from once it passes through that. So it's another thing on the list, is remove those, put that in line, and work on the chicken coop today. So those are my tasks. I'm getting full solar right now, and my battery level was at like 98-99%. So this has done it before where I have a full battery and I'm still getting solar and it overcharges the battery. So what I did today, rather than wasting the energy or unplugging the AC, is I've been charging 2 battery banks. That one's fully charged. This one now is fully charged. So charged those up with the extra energy, ran an extension cord around over here, And got out this battery charger to charge my camper battery, and that is also fully charged. So everything's fully charged. The battery bank did drop down to about 95%, but when that happens, to stop this from alarming from too much voltage, I have to come down here and unplug this one wire from the solar panel, because I guess it just gets too many volts. It doesn't have a dummy load to send all the voltage to. So I do have in my shack a nice new controller. This controller is a hybrid wind and solar controller. It handles AC input. So this AC that comes in can go into there, but it also handles solar panels and wind, which for me, the wind is going to be hydro, which is alternating current, but it comes with a dummy load. So when there's too much electricity, it has somewhere to send that extra electricity. It puts it into the dummy load. So I haven't hooked it up yet. It's still, as you can see, new in the box. But for now, I just go walk over there and unplug the solar panels, and that gets me by for now. All right, I took out these 2 drawers, put them over there, and as expected, there's a lot more problems. So this is what I saw from the other side. They chewed through a bunch of these wires, but if you look down here, that wire is so frayed and chewed. And then over here, this one doesn't go anywhere. So I have a lot of wiring to fix. Fortunately, I'm an electronics technician in the Navy, so I am prepared for this. I've got a bunch of supplies, got some extra fuses in case I blow a couple, and all the tools and supplies to get this done. It's just, it takes so much time. I could be working on my chicken coop, but Miss Hen is still laying her eggs, so gonna work on this until then. Alright, I've connected up the new water filter. Taking a break from the electrical stuff, because that's way harder. But I have it connected to this, which used to go into these 2 filters into the camper. Took off these 2 filters, hooked up new water filter. I've already run it through, pushed this button to bleed it, but now I'm going to turn it on and just show you. It wants me to bleed it for 10 minutes. That's going to drain my tank a lot, but look at this water pressure. I like that. I don't know why I need to rinse it for 10 minutes when it's not a charcoal activated filter. It's a filter, regular old filter, but that is a lot more water pressure than I was getting inside the camper. So, gonna turn this off, set that down, turn it off. Then I'm just going to connect this back up to the camper. No sense in rinsing 10 minutes. That's a lot of waste of water. Just one helpful tip. So, this is the water filter. Both fittings, I bought the cheap hoses. So, that's a plastic fitting. That's a plastic fitting. I did this one using the Teflon tape they provided. They said wrap it around 10 times. I Google searched. You're not supposed to wrap plastic connections with Teflon. So I tried one with Teflon, one without. I'm going to turn it on now with pressure and see if any of them leak. Bleed the air. Alright, no air in there. But I'll keep an eye on these two fittings and see if one leaks, if one doesn't. If one does and doesn't, I have more Teflon tape. I can put it on. I think I had to tighten those suckers down a lot with the wrench, so I think both of them will be fine. But that's got my 5-micron filter in it, so water from the tank comes from the spring now instead of the lake. So from the spring, pumps 300 feet uphill over there, and then comes 300 feet down with pressure in here, goes through 100 micron, 200 micron, 50 micron. That's good enough for outdoor shower. This is for feeding the chickens water and Duke's water. So 50 micron should be fine. Duke goes and drinks from the lake all the time anyway. But this other one here is going to go through the camper filter, through this white potable hose, city water connection, and that should give me filtered water inside the camper. So in here, there's a little air in the system. I can do my dishes now, except I still heat my water for dishes in there. Put the stopper in. I got some sink stoppers in here and a sponge. That's how I heat my water. I haven't got my hot water heater working yet, but it's about the same amount of pressure, so it wasn't a huge improvement. But this is 5 microns. I should be able to drink this straight from the tap. And I'm gonna do it. So up here I got glasses. I'm curious if it's still going to be yellow. Yeah, it's a little yellow, but cheers. That's pretty good water. I can taste a little bit of chlorine that I put in it, but it's yellow because of that soap there. But if I hold it straight up to the light, and it's green because of the trees, here we go. It's actually pretty clear. And it tastes good, so I will be drinking this water. No sense in buying bottled water when I have filtered water on tap. Alright, I just got done filming the water filter. I was going to use this GoPro to film painting the chicken coop today. I got everything set up. Got my ladder out here, which I will need. Got my paint pan, paint rollers. Got the GoPro set up. Miss Hen, finally, I'm hoping there's an egg in there, because she's out here now. So, whenever she lays an egg, we let her out of the pen. Come on, chickie. That's her little treat when she lays me an egg. So, I'm really hoping there's one in here. I was working on a project earlier, but she needed to lay an egg, so I had to get out of here. Sure enough, this is a ceramic egg that I put in there. I didn't have enough shavings to fill all of the bins just yet. She went into this one and was going to lay an egg, but realized there wasn't enough shavings. Because I put her in this one with the egg. She came out, chose that one. But then I guess she was going to lay it and realized there wasn't enough shavings, so she came back to this one. And this egg is warm. So, my nesting boxes, which is hard to see in the shadow, nesting boxes are working good. And I still got to continue a project with this. I'm going to put these around the middle of the coop and put in some reinforcement so that, like here you can see a gap. That's because I went for a time saver on materials and time by not putting 2x4 supports. So I know this plywood is sturdy enough as long as I can tack a couple 2x4s in the corners. And that's just going to hold everything tight. I tried as much as I could here to push that in because that back piece was bowed way out. So in my video yesterday, I spent probably a half hour back there trying to push that in. And there's not enough room to grab anything to like hold it tight. So that one was a tough one. I'm not going to be able to narrow that gap because I've screwed in all this other lumber. But all these other ones I can do easy enough by cinching everything tight, putting in little pieces of 2x4, like just take one of those. I've got a bunch of extra scrap 2x4, but I'm just going to put it right in the middle where all these gaps are and just kind of bring in the bows, keep everything sturdy. So that's my next project once I drop off Miss Hen's egg. Alright, I would switch to the GoPro, but once you start a video in portrait mode, it's really hard to add videos in landscape mode. And the GoPro is in landscape. So, what I've done to tighten everything up, my last video, I showed you the corners, but if you look at them now, minus the one that's screwed in, all the other corners are very tight in the middle. I used a ratchet strap, which was not long enough to go all the way around. I put these placeholder screws in on all the corners to hold it up because I'm working alone here. I had to tie a knot in one ratchet strap to go to the other. I tried to put a hook into these, which I think is what it's meant for, but then I was still left with no hook at the other end. So made a little knot in here. There's screws on that end, screws right here, screws on this corner. This door, I just went over the top because it's still sucking those two corners together. But in order for me to reach that, I have to get in there somehow. So this door, I went through the hinge access. But now, this is fairly tight. It's holding everything together. So I'm just going to take some 2x4s and go put them either right above or right below the strap, screw it in from the inside. Then I know where to screw from the outside because ideally I want to screw outside into a 2x4. That corner, I'm tempted, if I undo these screws that are holding it up, probably gonna do that. Yeah. I gotta undo this screw, undo that screw, and then this should all suck up together, because I don't think I did more than that. This is just a placeholder. Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. But you don't need to watch me do all that. Once I'm done with that and I get all these placeholders in, I'll just record again. Alright, I undid this screw, and then I was thinking about it. Once I undo that and do that, the board's just going to drop. So this board is pretty solid. It's already screwed in with that 2x4 on the back, and it's got this 16-inch stabilizer right there. So I put that screw back in, and I put in a second screw way back there. That's supposed to stabilize it. And then I took out this screw, expecting this gap to close up, but I still got the gap. So I was like, well, maybe I need to tighten the ratchet strap tighter. So I gave that several clicks, and it's really tight, but the gap is still there. Well, I walked around. You won't believe why it's not closing. My little placeholder screw, there you go, placeholder screw that is keeping this band up, which is no longer keeping the band up. It is keeping the whole thing from closing up. So I'm going to take that out and see if it closes up the gap. All right, placeholder screw removed. That gap is looking much better. That gap, no, you can see right in the middle where there's no gap is because of this strap, but that's going to keep everything sturdy. So I got to go all the corners and put in some of these 2x4s that I cut down. And all I'm going to do is try to hold them tight and screw them in. I may have to screw long screw from the outside, short screw, or long screw from the inside, short screw from the outside. But this should help keep everything stable. And I don't know if I can show it on YouTube, but when I was back there taking out that screw, I bumped my knuckle pretty good. So, but that I'll probably have to edit out. All right, all the corner stabilizers are now installed. This 2x4 split, so I just sunk in the counter screw. That's the piece that split, but all the other ones look good. It's not going to go anywhere, and once I screw this in, it should hold everything tight. So those are in. Next thing I'm going to work on is putting this roosting bar right where I want it. I'm trying to position it to where it's easy access to clean, but I want to put another one from here across to there so that they've got one roosting spot, two roosting spots, but can also get up to this above the nesting boxes. So I guess that's the next thing I'll plan out, is where these are going to go. But I've already just decided that the easiest way to screw these in, because I don't know where they are on the outside, but what I'll do is screw a screw right through here on the top. That's chicken poop, sorry. But right through here in the middle. And then I'll go on the back side. I know that's the top of the board, so I'll place it down a little bit to screw two in the sides there. I'll do the same thing over here once I get it situated where I want it. And then in here, I know that I need to cut a 2x4. It's going to screw right into this. And then wherever it ends up on that side, I'm Probably have to get a cinder block or something. I know this is 18 inches, so I think a cinder block is 18. Well, 8 and 8. It might be 18 inches, but I may need a cinder block and some 2x4 spacers, but I'll get that one kind of level and then screw in another roosting perch from here across there. Then the chickens will have plenty of roosting area. They've got the roost perches. They've got this high spot to go there. They got their nesting boxes down there. This perch I think I'll scoot back just a little bit so it doesn't crowd the nesting boxes. Might make it a little harder to clean, but it'd be worth it if they have plenty of space. That'll also give them room to jump up on the second perch. I may even make one in the middle so that they can stair step perches, but I'm gonna think about it. I've also been thinking about making stairs just like this down the back side of this. They just kind of go stairs up there, but if they can jump up on a perch and the other perch, I've seen these little chicks flapping their wings. They're pretty good at jumping, and I haven't trimmed their feathers so they can fly. So I think I'll just do one more perch back there and this long perch here and call that a day, and then close everything up and paint the outside and put some shingles hopefully on this roof. So continuing work. I just noticed my shadow looks really funny like this. This is me, and this is my head. I think it's my new haircut. Either we're done inside here. This is very sturdy. It's nailed down. This is exactly 1 coffee can high, and it's screwed in the side, so I don't need my water buckets anymore. This other perch is exactly 2 coffee cans high. So I just rested it on 2 coffee cans, nailed one, or screwed in 1 screw, went to the back side, screwed that in. But I'm taking the coffee cans with me because these are good bailing buckets for a boat. But this is all the perches that they need. 4 nesting boxes is plenty. I'm going to put more shavings in the other 3 boxes. Miss Hen was trying to use this one, but it wasn't deep enough for her. I specifically put extra shavings in here and put in the ceramic egg so she would pick that one. But that wasn't her first pick, so I'm going to put over in that Home Depot bucket, I've got more shavings. I'm going to put those in there, and that's it for the inside. And then got to paint the outside. So that is my next task. Paint the outside. I am going to screw in up here. You see, things weren't quite level when we did this. It's really hard to do a roof on level ground. And I do want to tighten up the seam just a little bit. I'm going to put 2x4 that I need to cut right here on the seam and screw it in. But as long as these 2 pieces are flush and I can put on the siding on top, that's going to be plenty fine. I mean, these don't have to be level. This is just rain protection, so that's what I'll work on next. All right, we've brought the ladder inside. My broom, I had to dust off the top because I'm going to start painting. Probably paint the front first to just kind of warm up, but I had to bring a broom to dust off the top. I got some high endurance grab and go Greystone. It's exterior paint and primer in one. So got this at Walmart. It's pretty expensive. It was like $40 for 1 gallon. But I've got this set up. Miss Hen is curious. She's like, "What are you doing in my coop?" But I'm going to start painting the front, and then I have a special treat. Hopefully it'll work. But I'm recording from my old phone in portrait mode. So in order to stick with that, I am going to hopefully use my actual phone and drone, because you're not going to be able to see me up there. I did bring out the mount here, and I have a special mount to do phones in portrait mode. So we'll start off with that in the front, and then hopefully I can get some Android footage, or not Android, but drone footage of me doing the actual roof. The only other thing I had to show was this morning I made a little improvement here. I put it used to be a ring hook, but I took some pliers and vice grips to it. And this is the normal cage, and this is the gate. So I used to have to flip this up over the edge and it would get caught in everything. Now with this little hook, I just hook it to the side, and I have plenty of room to go in and out. So I'm going to start painting the front, get used to it, and then I'll start painting the roof and hopefully get some drone footage of that. All right, that's going pretty well. I'm warmed up. I'm jobless, so I am for hire. I paint right over the hardware. If you look at this, see that door hinge? Those door hinges, painting right over it. So, just like those normal painters you see. But this is tedious stuff. We're going to get you the fun stuff. That's going to be the drone from up above. So we'll try that next. I won't even finish the front until I get the drone footage. All right, drone is in the air. This is the drone controller, extra battery. This is what you look like. I'm really hoping it can stay here while I go in there and paint. So we're going to try this. That's the drone right there. Putting you, we can have double view. The drone has about 10 minutes of flight time. I don't know how much power this drone has, but we're gonna go bring it down. You saw me paint the top, but have you seen me paint the top? It's doing a real good job staying steady. Oh, we still have 31% battery. So now we come over here. Let me flip you. On the controls, we hit land. Are you sure you want to Confirm landing? No, cancel. I want to come home. So I hit the GPS, come home. Confirm? Yes. Saying return home. It missed it by a few feet. It's gonna hit this plant, but all right. All right, it made it home. All right, I hope this turns out good. There you go. Miss Hen was complaining it's her bedtime. She couldn't get into the coop, but the front is all painted. This side is all painted. The roof is all painted. And that side is painted. So the only thing left to do is the back side. So I'm gonna have to wait for today on that one. My paint is starting to dry, not dry out, but I'm done with this can. I put the lid on already. She was gonna go roost under the camper, but she's been squawking by the gate for a little bit, so I want to let her in to roost. And then I'm gonna put some video together today. I did some drone footage. I didn't end up using, well, I guess I did use this for a little bit, but that's my drone case. The ladder I'm leaving out because I plan to do some shingles on top of the roof tomorrow. But I think that's it for today. I was doing so good staying paint free up until the end. I had to close the can and there's paint everywhere. So, but other than my hands, I did pretty good today. I got to put some tools away, got to put the coffee cans / water buckets away. A lot of progress on the chicken coop done. It's a camper. I at least know what the problem is, but that's a mess to clean up in there. Yet. But now at least I'm calling it a day, so I can sit down on my new bench from Tractor Supply with Duke by my side under this rain-proof tarp and enjoy the beautiful lake. I could take the boat out there, but I'm not feeling it right now. I was going to do some additional drone footage, but it's on the remote control is on the charger. I charged all the batteries, forgot to charge the remote control, so that has its own battery as well. So that will do it for today. I could sit in a hammock or another hammock with the mosquito net and a tarp, or go hang out with the chickens, but this bench is pretty comfortable. It's got good views. Can't complain. Life is good. Alright, I forgot to hit record. I had the drone hovering over there the whole time I was painting. And I have no video to show. Put Duke on his leash so he didn't chase it. Remembered everything except the record button. So, y'all deserve some drone footage. So, we're going to fly the drone over the coop, show you the roof, and then you'll get a little sunset view over the lake if I can navigate these trees. So next. So I got the drone all set up. This is my normal phone. I'm recording from my backup phone. Go ahead. We want to take off. Yeah, I still have paint all over my hands. Slide. Duke. No. And then take off. Alright, so drone is up. Duke wants to bite it. So I'm going to go up a little bit on the controls. Alright, so there's the drone, there's Duke, here's the controls. We'll go look at the roof and then we'll fly over the lake. But before I do that, hit record. There's record right here. Photo mode. Switch it to video mode. Record. Alright. Drone is now recording. Here we go. Okay, that didn't go so well. I ran into a tree. Duke is obsessed with it. I'm gonna have to restart.